windshield time. Evidently, it's. I've had some folks say that they found it, you know, whatever they found, informative, funny, interesting, whatever. So I'll burn another one. I'm staring at the windshield. So try this one more time, as long as I can get through without somebody else calling me. This is my second or third attempt here, but so one of the things I want to touch upon again, I want to kind of expound upon what I started out with in the last video, which ran a little bit longer than I wanted to, is training. Obviously, training is very important, but it is very much like when I was a cop, you know, cases that I went in on and ended up on the stand to testify with, if they were a sizable case, not necessarily a traffic case or things like that, but it's, you know, as a detective in some of the heavier felonies and things like that, one of the things that always came up was training and experience. The prosecuting attorney of the Commonwealth would say, hey, you know, it's...
Continue on I-95 north for 4 miles.
Yeah, so that was the GPS. So, you know, through your training and experience, you know, and that helped the prosecuting attorney, the Commonwealth attorney, establish that the reasons to back up the things that I had done, or that formed the probable cause, or the reasonable suspicion that led to the probable cause, all these things led to the conclusion in my actions that took place for this person to be arrested. So same thing that I want you to start thinking about applying to your training and carrying a concealed handgun. And out there, if you're going to carry a gun, you need to train with it. And you need to train with it as much as you can, because there's, just like in my professional career as in law enforcement, on the firearm side of it in particular, I have a 3-ring binder, and it's chock full of certificates and little pinpoints that I thought were important to stick in there as far as things that I have done, classes I've attended to, Top Gun certificates, or whatever kind of stuff that I want to stick in there, because still to this day, should I, and I plan for when, not if, it's, I always plan for, it's going to happen. It's just, am I prepared to do that? So as I move forward, should I ever find myself on the opposite side of the interview table with a detective, or even on the side of the road or the scene or wherever it takes place, the cop that starts asking me, hey, well, why did this take place? And I need to be able to have the right mindset and the right training and experience to be able to tell him, hey, look, it was this is what happened, boom, 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 lay it all out for him, articulate the reason why I thought that I was justified in deadly force. Hey, he had a gun, he turned to me in an aggressive manner, pointed the gun at me, you know, these are the words that he said. I was in fear for my life, and I had no choice but to defend myself. But should it ever get past that, I have a huge 3-ring binder that has all those certificates in it, so I can go into a defense attorney if I need one, or I can go into an interview with a detective and say, look, this is the stuff that I have done.
In a half mile, keep right to stay on I-95 north.
So I'm on I-95 north, and if you heard the GPS there, sorry about that. So I can go in there and I can lay all that stuff out and say, look, this is what I've done, and this is what caused my brain to act the way I did, and this is the reason why I took that. And it will help. It's going to, instead of just saying, hey, I took a concealed weapons permit course at a gun show, on a slide show out back, and I'm good. No, that's not good. Go out there and seek the training. Keep your training records. I'm not saying that you need to cut out the center of every target and stick it in a transparent folder and all that stuff, but keep that stuff. That is stuff that is going to help you should, if and when you have to defend yourself or defend somebody else that's with you, or a loved one. So go out there and get some good training. Plenty of good trainers out there. I don't do very many open enrollment classes anymore. I do, but there's still plenty of good dudes out there. If you have specific people that you have...
Continue on I-95 north for 16 miles.
I hope y'all can't hear that GPS, because that's going to get annoying. But if you have a specific question, send me an email or give me a call, and I will answer that. If it's somebody that I know or somebody I've trained under, I will tell you my honest to God opinions about that person. If it's somebody that I've never trained under, I got nothing for you. I can't do that. I'm not gonna say, well, I heard this or I heard that. That's not how that works. Go out and find those guys. Train. Training's expensive. We all know that. So I would encourage you to, much like changing your batteries and your smoke detector on New Year's Day every year, find a point in your life, hey, every time I get the oil changed, I buy 250 rounds of 9mm or 500 rounds of 9mm, whatever you can budget for. So you have that when you say, hey, next year I'm going to go to a class. So your ammo's already allotted, not stockpiled. I'm not saying you need to go out there and have 10,000 rounds in your garage or whatever, but make sure you have enough that you can take a class. So now you only have to bite off the tuition of the class, $500, $600, $700, $800 for a 2 or 3 day class, and lodging and food. That way this sting doesn't hurt as bad, but you're still getting good training. So just a couple of tidbits to think about that. Find a good trainer, find somebody that does that stuff and has been doing it through their training and experience, can give you the knowledge and their background and expertise on why you would do certain things. If I had a heart problem, I wouldn't go to a urologist. You know what I mean? If I want to learn how to drive a race car, I'm not going to go to a taxi cab driver, because that's a completely different thing. So it's find what you want to become proficient in, and seek out somebody that is proficient in those roles. So little tidbits before this thing gets too long. We're already at 6 minutes. Hopefully the GPS didn't interrupt that whole video. I'm not far from the next meeting, so with that, remember, keep all that stuff, find good training, budget some of those things out just like you would line item in your household budget, and train smart, train often. Victory first.